Hi, this is Phil from PDQ Merchant Enterprises and the ATM Mastermind group page, and today we're going to be talking about barbershops. So I was informed that barbershops were a good place to place an ATM. So we tried it out. So I came across a barbershop and we put our ATM in there and we started looking at transactions, and we didn't get anything significant in the transaction department. Somewhere between 5 and 20 transactions we got for months and months and months, and I didn't understand. Well, I thought barbershops, we were going to kill it, and we didn't. We ended up leaving the ATM there for about 6 months just to try to give it enough time to change the traffic pattern. But the transactions really never went up. They just started at about 10, and they just kind of stayed flat for months and months and months. We ended up pulling that ATM just because there wasn't enough traffic in the location. So I came up with a solution called CUT for barbershops. And I followed these procedures, and we really drastically improved the amount of transactions that we got. I started with C, chairs. So when we went into the first barbershop, what I noticed in my first one is it was basically a one-man shop. He had 2 chairs. One, he was there all the time, and then when he got his overflow, he had another guy there part-time that he would get some of the overflow walk-ins. Okay, so to really kill it in the barbershop game is you got to look and see how many chairs they have. So what I suggest is you start with at least 4 or more in the barbershop, and you want to find out, are those chairs full most of the time, or do they just have 4 chairs? Because it doesn't make any sense if they're just empty chairs. We need them full almost all the time. The second thing we did to really kill it in games is try to avoid the rural communities. We went with an urban community. That was a lot more people, more traffic, more transactions. In the urban community, a lot of times what we see is that the barbershop is kind of a central or a hub for the neighborhood for some gossip, and they hang out. So when you walk in and what you're looking for is 3 to 4 to 5 people in the chairs. Again, you want to have at least 4 chairs, and then 2 or 3 people waiting, maybe talking. Some have pool tables that they go in and they play pool. Some have games that they're playing card games or other games, waiting for their turn to get in a chair. The third thing we did was time. We wanted to know what was the hours of operation. Were they just open from 4 to 8, or was it better? We found out it was better that they were there somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 or 11 to 9 or 10 at night. The time was really significant in the amount of transactions we did also. The longer operations, the more opportunity we had to increase our transactions. The other thing with time is you want to give the ATM time to breathe. So you want to place the ATM in there, and to change people's traffic pattern and their habits, it's going to take anywhere from 3 to 6 months to really get a good gauge. So how long do I leave the ATM in there? Again, 3 to 6 months. That'll change people's traffic pattern. So when it's a cash-only barbershop, people know to bring cash. And so when people are starting to get their haircut, usually men's barbershop, they're going to get their haircut somewhere between 7 to 15 days every week. And so it'll take some time to change their pattern and their habits. So now they won't necessarily have cash when they come to the barbershop, but they're going to get cash at the barbershop. Things also, when you place an ATM in a barbershop, you want to make sure they're cash-only barbershops. Most of them are, but some of them they do take. You want to make sure the barbers aren't taking Venmo or a Cash App, that they pretty much just work on a cash basis. That'll ensure you high traffic value. Some of the other questions we do get asked is, well, how many transactions am I expected to do, and how much money should I put into the ATM? And so on a lower end barbershop, you should expect somewhere between 40 and 60 transactions, and you're going to want to start with somewhere around $2,000. That'll give you about 2 weeks of transactions. So twice a month, you want to repeat it and put $2,000 in the ATM. If it's a medium-sized barbershop, in other words, your traffic is a little bit more, that's going to do 80 to 120 transactions. And then you want to put about $4,000 and bi-weekly. And then if you get a really good location and you're rocking and rolling, that's going to have about 120 transactions plus, and you're going to have to basically gauge that. But I would probably start with $5,000 to $6,000 and look at it on a weekly basis, just depending on how many transactions and how much over 120 transactions do they do. Thanks for watching. Always remember to like and subscribe our YouTube channel, or you can go to our ATM Mastermind group page and join that. Thank you very much.